So hi everybody, my name is Robert Zuckerman, and I had a long career as a photographer in the Hollywood movie business. Photographed a lot of big movies, promos, a lot of big name actors, Will Smith, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Denzel Washington, Kate Winslet, Cameron Diaz, Al Pacino, the list goes on. Anyway, right around shortly after 9/11 happened, I was talking to a friend of mine one day, and we were talking about all the terror that's in the world, which we still have today, and we came to the realization that the antidote to terror is in the richness of everyday life that's all around us. Just people and things that go on in our life, and that sometimes gets overlooked. So I began documenting just random encounters. It could be anywhere. It could be in the street, on a bus, in a restaurant, in a school. I'd have a conversation or an interaction with somebody, and I'd photograph them, and I'd write a little paragraph. Not right on the spot. I'd jot down some notes, and then later I'd write a little paragraph. And I began emailing these pieces, to friends of mine, and the response was really great. People really liked and connected with sort of the personal aspect of these pictures. And then, I would send around maybe like a big movie poster that I shot, and one guy wrote back, well, nice poster, but I like the stories better. So I think I was really touched a chord just by tapping into what I call the richness of everyday life. So that was in early 2002, and then I hadn't really titled the series, but I was walking down the street one day in like 2004, and I thought, Kindsight, sounds like hindsight, but it has the word kind in it, so that's what I called this series, and I got it trademarked, and I published back in 2005 a book of some of the early pieces, and I was going to publish more books, but I have this, I've been dealing with some health issues and so forth, so they haven't been published yet, but I continue to write these pieces. I actually have a blog of them on the Huffington Post, and they're all, most of the pieces here, I like when I'm in a different city or whatever, I like to have pieces that relate to that city. So all the pieces on the walls here are mostly from the Miami, South Florida area. So that's what Kindsight is about. There's so many things today that, a lot of times we just go through our days just getting through them, watching TV, shopping, and our days are filled up with stuff. So I think it's good to focus on this. The younger generation is the future, and I kind of see it, and this is a broad term, this is kind of a generalization, but each generation kind of has the ability to go a little higher and a little further. So the things that people of your age and younger generations are seeing today are things that we haven't seen before. So you have new ideas and new abilities. So that's what I think is really good about it. A lot of pictures that I have, a few pieces up on the wall there from my younger sister. We have different fathers, and her name was Patty, and she had a different genetic disease than I do, and she became quadriplegic, where I'm just paraplegic, but Patty couldn't talk, or and so she actually passed away earlier this year. But I guess I would try, because of my showbiz connections or whatever, as I develop those, to make special events for her. So in 2007, I was able, after actually like 15 years of trying, I arranged to have Patty personally meet Oprah Winfrey. We flew to Chicago, and there are other celebrities like Cyndi Lauper and people like that. So I guess my photographs of Patty are the ones that are closest to my heart. Well, it's interesting now because we live in this world now where there's the downside and the upside of like the telecommunications and technology. Everyone's like lost in their iPhone, whatever. But in a way, I think that's a good thing because the world has become more of a global community. What am I doing here? What am I here for? And we think about immortality or something, that's and I think the things that we do now live after us. Like a lotus flower blossoms through the mud and it's always striving upward. And I think that's our nature, and so I'm just trying to, to live in accordance with what I think our nature is.